All right, I'm done.
Hold on.
I just joking, Travis. I love you, dad.
Leave it up to us. We're gonna play the whole fucking album.
I swear to God, and go on home.
It's gonna be a Drake listening party in this joint. Drake and 21 Savage listening party. You leave it up to us. I'm not gonna lie. That album is absolutely insane. But we're gonna get into that in a minute. First, let's get into the show. 3, 2, 1. Top Hill episode 1. 21. 21. Pussy. Welcome to another episode of the Top Hill Podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Top Hill Pod, aka E-Money Boss.
And I'm your girl, Jamila, with her own boss.
And welcome to another episode of the Top Hill Podcast, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got a lot to get into. You know, we've been out for a little bit, but you know, we back. We back in the studio. Big shout out to Quality Touch Studios, man. The sound quality on this joint is like,
woo!
Yo, the upgrades that they made to this studio. Top shit, man. So big shout out to Quality Touch Studios, man.
It is bright in here. Did they change the bulbs too?
Everything is upgraded in here. I don't know. Like, it's a whole different vibe. I got the fireplace right here next to me going on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. This joint's a vibe. This joint is a vibe. So big shout out to them, man. Before we get into Top or Not, you guys' favorite segment, we got to talk about what's been going on with the culture, man. And if you guys have been under a rock, Drake and 21 Savage has released an album called Her Loss. It was delayed a week. I was really upset about it at first because I was actually going through my school's homecoming that weekend. We just knew that we was going to be rocking this joint on the way down to North Carolina and on the way back, but thought it was, got him. But the joint did get released the week after, and man, pleasant surprise. I actually waited till midnight. Like certain artists, I'll wait until the actual release and actually listen to it. And I listened to it like real time. I was on Twitter listening to the reactions and stuff like that. It was hilarious. But one thing I'm gonna say about this album, I have a lot to say about this album. But when you piss off Drake, he gives you his best fucking work. Like when I remember when If You're Reading This Is Too Late came out, you know, it was all those speculations about him not writing his own raps, people coming at him, stuff like that. And to me, that has been my favorite Drake project because he actually really did put in the effort of like just going off and going crazy and talking his shit, not giving a fuck about what people are talking about. He's gonna talk his shit. And this album, he did the same exact thing. He was talking his shit.
This one is not better than that one, though.
I have to let it breathe for a little bit.
I'm sure it's not. I'm positive.
Because that album is
that
so
is my
good
shit still. Yeah, it's not a song on this album that fucked with my favorites. A lot of them songs on there are like my all-time favorite. A lot of all-time favorites.
Same here. I'm gonna be playing them Jones to the day I die. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be playing Legends and Six Guys. Wallet.
Sleeping in the street.
Shake it, warrior.
My favorite.
But I ain't gonna hold you. Like ever since this album came out, there hasn't been an album this year that I can just
keep going back to, like
just play shuffle. I hit the shuffle button and just let it rock.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm not skipping anything.
Nothing.
Like, so that's very impressive. And they didn't just drop like a loose pack, like five tracks or whatever. They dropped 16 fucking records.
Full album. A
full complete project. And I was a little bit nervous at first because, you know, when you have collab albums like this, there's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean?
But it's Drake.
It is Drake.
And when Drake does collab albums, he does really good.
But yeah, I like the Drake and Future record a lot.
Yes.
That joint was a banger to me. But a lot of people didn't like that one.
I liked it back, and I'm not even gonna lie, I hadn't listened to it maybe for like 2 years, like in its entirety, maybe a song or two here and there. I went back and listened to the whole fire.
Yeah, it's dope.
Fire surprised me as if I never heard the album before. I was like, what? Why am I not listening to this on a regular basis?
Yeah, it aged really well. And Drake makes music that ages well. Like if you go back to even like his earlier projects, like even, you know, Comeback Season or Take Care, stuff like that, his music grows like wine. It ages well like wine. So the fact that this album sounded so good off of first listen and the first spin, and I just know that this album is going to be one of them. It's going to be talked about for a while. I like the fact that this is not a real Drake and 21 Savage album. It's more like a Drake featuring 21 Savage album. Like Drake is really like 75% Drake, 25% 21, and I'm happy with that. I'm good with it. I think it's done well. So, in this joint, I had to write some notes, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, because there was so much in this album. So he went after a lot of people in this album, and the one thing that was interesting to me is that every single person that he name dropped or mentioned responded.
Yes.
Had something to say.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Like, you got Drum. He put Drum in the fucking chorus. Yo, I'm gonna put you in the chorus and make sure you understand, like, yo, you gonna learn how we cha-cha slide. Like, that was a crazy bar. And then you got Ice Spice, you know, when he mentioned that, you know, you're at 10, but your music sounds better on mute. Then you got... You got Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh, she was hot.
Come on. I don't know how deep we're gonna go into that, but yeah, but Meg, you know, was mad. It was like, you know, you guys keep talking about me and blah 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 blah. And one thing, Drake is the number one artist in the world right now. Like,
to me, forever.
You know, shout out to Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is like killing it right now. But I'm talking about just like longevity wise, like he has his thumbprint on.
I'm not a fan of Bad Bunny. I can recognize his greatness to the world, but that's not my bag.
Yeah, but you know, he has,
and I actually can't stand to hear it. Honestly, like every time I go out on vacation and stuff like that, that's what everybody want to hear. Like we on the boats and shit like that. And I'm like,
I
okay,
fuck with Bad Bunny.
One or two songs is like okay, like just for the vibe. But I really don't want to hear it.
Once I learn Spanish fully, I feel like I'm gonna appreciate it even more. But like, nah, Bad Bunny makes great music. He makes stadium music.
Yeah, records, definitely. Like I said, I can see it. It's just not for me.
Right. But like for Drake. Since Drake is such a big artist, nothing that he's saying is going to be by accident or a slip up or anything like that.
He don't care who he offend because you can't cancel him.
And that double entendre, like with the shooting bar, you know, bitches lying about getting shot. She's still astounded though.
It was the S because it was like,
yeah,
what are you really saying?
Right. There's so many double meanings to that. You know, women getting, you know, BBLs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But she still claimed that she's a stallion. So there's a lot of ways you could take it. But hey, you know, if you receive it that way, you know.
Again, if the shoe fits, put that motherfucker on.
Or the glass fits. So, and then another bar I was surprised about was the Ye bar. I was like, this man is still taking shots at Kanye, even after they supposedly reconciled and stuff like that. It's like, yeah. I did that shit for Jay Prince. Like, that's it. It's this mob tie shit. Like, it's still on. I'd rather hit you up one more time. I'd rather do that. And it's just like, oh man, this nigga is on one. This nigga's talking his shit.
You just want to say whatever you want.
Yeah, and I like it when Drake gets into this bag. Untouchable. It's untouchable. Like, and the promotion for the album is so fucking genius. So. I'm sure, I don't know if you've been seeing what they've been doing like to kind of promote the album, but like he did a Tiny Desk, right? Like a Tiny Desk promotion, like, hey, I'm Drake, this is 21, we're about to do our Tiny Desk. He went on Saturday Night Live.
And I only heard of all this stuff.
But everything that he did Tiny Desk, he did Saturday Night Live, he did Howard Stern, he did Vogue, but they all ended up being fake. They were all spoofed. So he took the genius marketing like he was actually going to go and do all this other stuff, but it was actually all him. So everything's getting paid to you. So when you're looking at it, it's on Drake's page or on 21 Savage page and stuff like that. So most of the people like who own these businesses were thrilled to be mentioned. So like Tiny Desk was just like, you know, this is not real, but we would love to have Drake and 21 Savage actually come and do one. Howard Stern was like, That shit was hilarious. You know, everybody was just like, "This is cool." But
typically, if somebody else would have did that, it would have been a problem.
Exactly, and guess
it'd have been a problem.
And somebody actually did have a problem with it. Vogue. Vogue is suing Drake and 21 Savage, I think, for like $4 million for spoofing their cover or whatever.
Ooh. As much as that nigga keeps mentioning y'all, he literally gashed y'all up in the previous song.
Exactly.
Like,
right.
The audacity.
But going back to the fashion industry, they never gave a fuck about us anyway.
Of course not.
Well, we keep pandering to them. But anyway. But yeah, so that was interesting. But yeah, the only complaint that I have on this album is that Drake is really shitting on the regular niggas. Okay, like listen,
Beyonce did it too, and that kind of like it always do that. Like cheap spandex, she looks a mess. Like, you know, all these bitches is with Shein and all that shit. And then he turned right around. He did it a few times.
Nah, he went crazy. Like this nigga talking about nigga fuck Adidas, nigga. Like everybody got to put away their Adidas now. You can't.
My favorite pair of socks is by Adidas.
I still fuck with the Yeezys, like the original Yeezys. Once actually Adidas starts doing that bullshit and they start duplicating Kanye shit without putting his name on it, I'm not buying none of that shit. That shit is fucking that shit's counterfeit at this point. If
it's gonna have to be $30, and like if anybody is gonna wear it, if we're going for the look,
and we're not gonna have,
and we're really not, but some people will, because now
middle
they can
America
afford
will buy it.
They can now afford it,
and people who are not culturally aware will buy it. But like that is so fucked up. Like, yeah, you might not agree with what this man was saying and stuff like that, but the fact that you're just gonna steal his whole idea and then re-release it and just take his name off of it and profit off of it, fuck you. Nah, I'm not supporting that shit. So Drake, fuck Adidas, nigga. But then you niggas talk about Hibachi. Like, nigga, Hibachi is good. Okay?
He said he hadn't did that shit since
he
Migos, went on.
Since Migos dropped Versace. And I was like, God damn, like, you don't fuck with Hibachi no more? Damn. You can't give your bitch a party bus no more? Like, all this is broke shit to him. You know what I mean? So that was
for the broke people. They gonna stop doing that though, cause it be us that pay y'all. We the only ones listening to y'all.
He went off. He went off, man. Shit was hilarious. Oh, and then sidebar. The pettiness, man. Like in his bar, he literally said, "Sidebar, Serena, your husband a groupie." Like while he was in the middle of like an amazing dope ass rap, middle of the ocean. He's like, "Oh yeah, sidebar, Serena, your husband a groupie." He responded too. But anyway. Drake's album with 21 Savage, Her Loss, to me is definitely in rotation. It's one of my favorite albums of the year, if not my favorite album of the year. But we'll see. You know, we gotta do the top albums of the year coming soon.
I'm trying to think what else was even that good. It's like I done forgot ever since this album came out. It's like
it's just getting erased. The Kendrick album is there for me, but it's Kendrick. I know how you feel.
I like Kendrick, just I'm not a huge.
Another thing too, the Quavo and Takeoff album is so underrated. That album was amazing, and rest in peace, Takeoff. I know we didn't talk about that either. Rest in peace, Takeoff. That shit.
I want the candy so bad.
Oh my god, she's fiending for the candy. Okay,
for real, it's really bad.
It's bad. Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, rest in peace to Takeoff, man. And prayers and condolences to his family and everything around him. It was such a tragic loss, man. I'm really sick and tired of hearing these stories about our people dying in a culture. And I don't know if there's ever going to be any remedy to this, any fix to this. Like, there's no code. We keep acting like there is a code, and people check in when they go to places and stuff like that. But this doesn't happen in any other genre of music, man.
And also, though, let's not act like it doesn't happen in a lot of genres because they don't be moving dumb. Like, we be moving dumb sometimes. Like, we gotta hold ourselves accountable. Like, stop doing regular shit with regular niggas when you not that.
Yeah.
At what point do you not separate yourself? Like, you don't get to pick and choose when you are elite. You need to just either you be or you don't.
It's all you know, man. That's the thing.
No, it's not all you know.
It is all they know.
It's not. They've been getting money way too much money to be in different situations, different cultures around the world. They have been exposed to culture and to different things.
Yeah.
They need to separate themselves. I don't even make that much money, but I'm at a point where I feel like I'm too good for certain situations, for certain places. Whether I want to go or not, I just know that I can't.
Right. No, I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from. I'm speaking about it in general. But in the case of, Quavo and Takeoff, obviously these are veterans. They've been around for a long time and have shaped the current state and sound of music when it comes to the new hip hop genre. A lot of people duplicate their sound now. But
that don't make you invincible though.
Nobody's invincible. And the fact that Takeoff is probably the most non-confrontational, one of the wisest out of those three members. I'm not saying that like any one of them passing would have not hurt as much, but the fact that this guy is just not even on that time, and for him to suffer like that,
they say the good die young.
Yeah, it hurts, man. It hurts a lot. People like him, people like Nipsey, like Chadwick, it just hurts, man. So, we lost an amazing voice, amazing talent. And he will be remembered forever. If you guys have not listened, make sure you guys check out that Quavo and Takeoff album. That joint is an elite album, man. So shout out to them. I'm gonna keep it moving right along. Because I know we gotta get in the top or not, but before we do, top hill, top hill, top